Hello trainers, welcome to the lab. Today I have another Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Wi-Fi battle for you. And actually it is the start of the round 2 GBA matches. And with this being a Saccharum versus as well, it is now time for me to introduce these teams. We have me having the Flygon, the Klefki, the Mega Lopunny, the Mr. Mime, the Pikachu, and the Donphan. I know it seems like a really far-fetched team, but trust me, you gotta trust me here, as the owner of the Indianapolis Keldeos. And then I'm facing off against KingJimmy, who is the owner of the Philadelphia Briavary. We did see his match against Kwame, and today he actually proved himself a little bit more, so we'll see how that actually comes through in a second, as he has Shuckle, Briavary, Dragalge, Crocodile, Infernape, and a Mega Venusaur. So let's get this party started right now into this Wi-Fi battle. It's been a while since I've done a Saccharum versus. As KingJimmy issues a challenge, I lead off with Flygon, thinking that he's probably going to want to lead off with that Shuckle, as he does decide to lead off with that shiny Shuckle that don't give any cares about anything. I decided to go for the Earthquake, thinking that it is a rock type that'll probably be able to do a ton of damage. But it ends up not doing as much, only doing a lot because of the critical hit. So it is able to set up a Shell Smash at this point of the match and end up getting that contrary boosted defenses while losing its attack and special attack. As I do go for another Earthquake, hoping to see if I can get another critical hit, because then that would OHKO it, but unfortunately not. He does end up having Rest on the Shuckle as well. So this does end up proving to be a bit of an issue for me. Because I'm not sure how to work around this Shuckle. It is one of my bigger threats to the team, and I actually forgot a little bit of some of my Pokemon on what I could do to it. As Shuckle does decide to set up Toxic onto my Flygon, which is going to be kind of unfortunate because I can't really do too much after that. If this was my Choice Banded Flygon, it'd be different, but this one is actually Choice Scarfed. So I ended up going for the Earthquake here, just trying to be able to outspeed. I wanted to get more speed instead of more power, which probably would have been better to have more power in this particular matchup. As he is able to go for another Shell Smash, which is going to be really bad, really bad, because I cannot touch this thing now. As the toxic damage is going to start whittling my Flygon away, as I'm just going to keep trying to go for Earthquakes, hoping for critical hits, because if I can get a critical hit, I can actually break through and actually take out the Shuckle. But he does keep going for Rest and recovering his HP up, as I just keep thinking, like, what else can I do? There's not much else I can do. I can either let Flygon go down to the Toxic, or I could just try and do something. But I do here decide to switch out and go into Mr. Mime, thinking that it is a Poison type, because I always forget that Shuckle is Bug Rock and not Poison Rock. So I do go for Psyshock, thinking that it's a Poison type and thinking that's going to do a lot, being super effective, but unfortunately not, as it does land a critical hit also, but still not doing anything due to that bug resistance. I do decide to switch out after that because I don't want to have a potential Toxic come through. So I do decide to go into Lopunny because I saw this as a perfect opportunity to get a free Mega Evolution up, as he does decide to go for Toxic and wake up this turn. And now my Lopunny is actually just poisoned, unfortunately. And I do decide to go for the Mega Evolution here because I can stall it out a little bit, at least take some damage off of it. Because I'm thinking here, I can go for some pretty strong moves that'll probably do a lot of damage. So I go for the Fake Out, which is going to do nothing, essentially. And because it flinching couldn't move, there's nothing I could do there. And I believe I go for the High Jump Kick right here to see if I could try and knock it out, thinking Lopunny is going to be strong enough, but unfortunately it only does about 20%. And as Shuckle goes for another Shell Smash, I have no idea what I want to do here. This Shuckle is just set up all over me, and I honestly have no idea what I want to do here. I'm taking poison damage by the minute. All of my hard sweepers, all my hard power hitters are now like able to do nothing to this thing, as he do decide to go into Klefki, because I was like, you know what, if his only attacking move is Toxic, he actually can't touch me. So I can set up rock, I can set up spikes here, and I can set up screens, so I might be in a really good position right here. As he does decide to go for Rest again, he is going to be asleep, so I do decide to go for my first layer of spikes right here, because I thought it was going to be my best possible play. He can't touch me, I can't touch him. I can only touch him with Foul Play, which isn't going to do anything, as he does decide to actually withdraw the Shuckle, knowing that he can't do anything to me. as he does go into Braviary right here, which is really scary, as I do decide to go for the spikes again to get my second layer up, because I'm going to need those spikes later on for switching. I do decide to set up a Reflect this turn, because I do want to take any one hit from this Braviary in case it has something really powerful, but it does end up going for the Rock Slide, probably thinking it can flinch me, or at least trying to do something to me, as the Crush Claw does come through this time. And I do decide to go for the foul play here. Pretty risky move on my part, but I guess I was able to risk it a little bit. But he ends up only taking about half HP and goes for the Crush Claw again. He landed a crit the first time, which actually brought me down a lot. And I am able to go for the foul play yet again and get almost a 2-hit KO. And I do have at least 2 layers of spikes up. And I am able to go for another foul play to knock out this Braviary, which is 1 down on our for us, which is great. We needed at least 1 knockout, as he does decide to go into Crocodile right here, which is kind of scary, just because it can have Earthquake, but because I have Reflect set up already, and I don't want to lose Clucky quite yet, because I haven't set up all my spikes yet, I do decide to go into Donphan to take an Earthquake, because that is my physical wall right here. He does go for the knockoff, which is really unfortunate, because I do now lose my leftovers on Donphan, and Crocodile is able to go for the Earthquake. But look how much damage this actually does to Donphan. It did nothing. As I go for my own knockoff to get rid of whatever item is on this Crocodile, and I get rid of his Expert Belt, which is really kind of nice, because that could have been a potential problem in the future. As unfortunately this Donphan set does not have Ice Shard, which would have been really nice to have against this Crocodile. I do go for Stealth Rocks here to get all my hazards up on my opponent's side of the field, as he just keeps dwindling away my HP, as I do go for another Earthquake to knock out the Crocodile. Crocodile is actually kind of frail, so I don't believe it was a high roll or anything. I may have just lucked out, but I do have this Venusaur right here, and this is kind of scary, because I don't know what I could do here. At this point in the match, I wasn't sure if I really wanted to risk losing Donphan, so I do decide to switch him out right here and go into my Mr. Mime, which I had specifically built for this Mega Venusaur, which I have been using this set a lot. This Mr. Mime particularly is a special wall with max HP, max special defense with an Assault Vest, and I do end up avoiding the Sleep Powder, which is really crucial here, because I'm able to go for the Psyshock and deal a ton of damage. Because the spikes and Stealth Rock, I'm able to do a ton to this Mega Venusaur. But he does land the Sleep Powder this time around, and I cannot wake up right now. He does go for the Giga Drain, which is a really weird play, and as you can see, it actually does nothing. He should have actually gone for Sludge Bomb, but that's actually not going to be doing too much either, just because I do have Filter as my ability for this particular Mr. Mime. As you can see right here, the Sludge Bomb brings me down to about 50% right here, and I am able to wake up this turn and go for Psyshock, and I will be able to knock out this Mega Venusaur. So Mr. Mime put in a lot of work right here, just getting rid of a really big threat to my team, as the Dragology does come out here, and I don't know if he knows that well, he has to know I'm Fairy type, because he did go for the Sludge Bomb, but he also knows that I'm Psychic type, and I can go for the Psyshock and outspeed it. Luckily, I was actually afraid I wasn't going to outspeed this Dragology, and I'm able to almost, just barely one-shot it, but it is only by living by a sliver of health, and I'm also living by 1 HP. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Mime just putting in so much work right now, going for the Psyshock once more, and then knocking out the Dragology. So perfect. So Mr. Mime, in its first debut on the GBA, ends up managing to get 2 KOs, one being a super big threat, as the Infernape does come out here, and I believe that I'm actually done with Mr. Mime for right now, but I may have wanted to preserve a score here. It's been a while, it's been a couple weeks since I've actually seen this match, but I do decide to stay in and let Mr. Mime go, because it did put in a lot of work, and I was really proud of it. So, Mr. Mime, thank you very much, you did a good job, so take a nice rest, as I do decide to bring in on this Infernape my Flygon, because I am Choice Scarfed. I know I will outspeed it with an Earthquake, and I will be able to knock out this Infernape, which is really crucial, as now all he has left is that Shuckle, I believe, and at this point of the match, I had no idea what I was going to do for that Shuckle. I have most of my Pokemon left, and all he has left is a Shuckle, so whether or not it was another 40 turns or not is kind of like worrying for me at this time. But I do remember, actually, that I do have another Pokemon in the back, being Pikachu. Now, Pikachu was a Pokemon that I wasn't sure was going to come through or not, so I kind of made this a physical attacking Pikachu, went for Iron Tail, and then actually was able to one-hit KO the Shuckle without any sort of setup. So that was really awesome there. Thank you so much, KingJimmy, for the battle. That was really great for the GBA. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed this battle too. If you did, please be sure to leave a like, because it makes this channel just a little bit more popular thanks to YouTube's new algorithm. And if you also really enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe to the channel for more battles like this. I have the Alpha Sapphire playthrough coming out tomorrow as well. If not, maybe later today. We'll see how uploading schedules go, because my plan is to try and finish that by the end of the summer. As well as I'll have more GBA matches, I'll have more Wi-Fi battles. Pokeology will be on hold, is still on hold for a little bit, but I will be planning on recording some of that really soon, hopefully, maybe. I'll keep my fingers crossed there. But again, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time when you come to the lab. Bye!